So starting out now, then we're going to be looking at some of our Excel shortcuts and the ways that these can improve and speed up our efficiency within Excel. So starting out really quickly then, my favourite one that we're going to be using and something that I would recommend you use quite a lot is the Control and S button. And this is going to quickly save your file, making sure that you can, save your work, and that if anything is lost or anything happens to your computer, then you don't have to worry too much about it. And pressing that Control and S is the same as going up here to the file and then clicking on the save part. The next one that we're going to look at then is Control and P. Pressing Control and P is going to quickly print your file. We can see here that we're printing to PDF, and we're just selecting and printing this small table that we have here. A time-saving exercise. Rather than going up to file and then kind of messing about, it's just going to speed you up a little bit there. So the next one that we're going to look at is Control and T, and what this does is this changes our data into tables. So we can see here that we currently have a table, but if we were to just change this back to a normal range, so we say we're going to convert this back to a range, then what this will do is it will quickly select our data and turn it into a table for easy editing. So we can press the Control and T, and we can see that we get these dotted lines around our data there. If this isn't right for whatever reason, then we have the ability to change the range there. So we can see that we've got currently A2 to D10 selected, and we also have the highlighted part there ticked, so that my table has headers, because we have up at the top here in row 2 we have the headers. And clicking OK, what that does is that transforms that into a table, and when that changes, we can see that we get the little table design part up here on the tab, and we obviously get these filters here that we can start to filter our data through. So it's just really useful, and it's good for having a lot of data and changing it into if you want to edit it within a table. So the next parts that we're going to start to look at is how we can move around our data really easily. And while we have a small piece of data here, this is really easy because we can just use the arrow keys if we wanted to, and it doesn't take us too long to move about. But say for whatever instance that we have a large set of data, say it's like 5,000 rows plus, it's going to take a long time to be getting around and stuff, so we need to be able to do that efficiently and quickly. And this is one of the things that can take quite a long time within Excel, and we want to be able to select multiple rows. So say we wanted to highlight that, or we wanted to highlight the column, then we need to be able to do that really easy and really quickly. So starting out then, wherever we are within our Excel spreadsheet, if we want to move up to the top left corner, we can press the Control and Home key, and what that's going to do is it's going to take you up to the cell A1, and we can see there that it just quickly moves its way up. Okay, so it doesn't matter where we are within our spreadsheet, we can be anywhere, and it's just the Control and Home, and it's going to take us back to that cell A1, which makes it really quickly for us. So once we've got up to the top left corner, then sometimes we might want to work down to our bottom right hand corner of our data. So if you need to get to the end of it, whether you wanted to see the end of the row or you just want to see the end of that particular point of data, then the opposite of this will be Control and End. And we can see now that that's just moved us down into cell D10, and by pressing this there, we can move either quickly up to the A1 by pressing the Home, or pressing the Control and End, which is going to take us down to the D10. So one thing that we might want to do as well is, so say we were up in the top cell of A1 there, what we can quickly do here is we'll just delete this row out here. And one thing to bear in mind is if you have cell A1 selected and you go to the end of the data like so, if you press the Home button now, so it'll take you back up to A1, okay, we can see the difference there because we've already deleted that one row, so it just adds in that extra row. But say you want to go straight up at this point, then you don't want to be pressing Home, because what that's going to do is take you up and across into cell A1. We can just hold the Control button now and pressing the arrow keys, and that's going to take you up to the top of the data. If you press the left key, it takes you all the way to the left. The down button will take you to obviously the bottom, and the right will take you to the end there. But what would happen here is, say we inserted a row here. If we press the Control and down at this point, you can see that it would only take us to cell A4. Okay, so it only goes down to the point where there's any gaps within your data. So if you have, then just bear this in mind when using this Control and down option here, because it might only take you to where there's a gap. And if it's at the bottom of the sheet here, you might not notice. So just bear that in mind if that's something that you're working on, and you're moving around quite a lot of data, that you just have a quick check that it is actually the last part of your data. So what we've done now then is we've just added in a couple of sheets, so we can see that we have sheet 2 and sheet 3 that we've just added. And the whole idea of keyboard shortcuts is so that you can keep your hands on the keyboards as much as you can. And the moment that you have to take your hands off the keyboard, if you want to change sheets, so say you click onto sheet 2 or onto sheet 3, you suddenly become less efficient because you're having to move your hands around. So one way that you can speed this up, if you want to move into different sheets a little bit quicker, we can hold the control and we can press the page up. So if you want to move a little bit quicker and you want to move into different sheets quicker, you can press the control and the page up and page down. And we can see there that it just gives us the ability to move through the sheets as we need to do, rather than having to take your hands off the keyboard. And you can just select this respective sheet of what you want to do. So that's control and page up and page down, and that is going to quickly move through the sheets for you. So what we're going to look at now is selecting data. So one for this is the control and A, and we can see that pressing the control and A is going to select all of the data within the table. And if we're going to press control and A again, what that does is it selects all the data within the worksheet. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So just control and A once is only going to select the data within the table, but the control and A again will select everything within the sheet. We can look at moving our data now, so we can press the control and A to select it, and we can have the control and C to copy that data. And what we can do then is we can move into another sheet and just copy that over really easily there, and we can see that that's just moved over, and we don't have to do anything too much to that data. So these ones are ones that I use quite a lot, and these are for selecting both the rows and the columns. So to select a whole column, just select in the column which you want. So say we want column B, and we're going to press Control and space bar. And what that does is that just selects that whole column there for us. And we can then just do whatever we want to do, whether that's any formatting or changing the text or anything like that. So that's Control and space bar, and that's just going to select that whole column for us there. If we wanted to select the whole row, so we wanted to select the whole of row 5, say, what we would now do is press the Shift and space bar. So this is the first one that we're not using in control. So this is Shift and space bar, and we can see there that that just selects that whole row for us. And now it just makes it a little bit easier if you try to select data and move stuff around, or if you want to just edit that particular row for whatever reason, then just pressing that Shift and space bar is going to make that easier for you. Hopefully you found some of these keyboard shortcuts really useful. If you do, then don't forget to leave a comment in below which are your favourite ones, and if you have any other ones that you like to use personally, then also let me know and we'll include them in the next one. But hopefully this helps. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again soon.